up, long players? Welcome to the Long Play Listening Party, the show where we go deep on local music, writing, recording, inspiration, gear, and whatever else sounds good to us. I'm Howie Howard from Mr. Furious Records. We've got the whole crew in the house tonight. Royce Diamond, how are you feeling, my friend?
I am excellent.
Fantastic. Nate Holt, what's going on?
You know how I'm feeling today.
Yeah, we're recording on Tuesday night after the Kansas men's basketball team has won a national championship. Town's very excited about that. We've got some special guests here. We've got Milkdrop. What's going on, Milk?
Doing well.
Excellent. And Jet Moran, how are you feeling?
Good, boys. I'm good. I appreciate y'all having us on here.
Absolutely. We're going to be listening to Jet and Milk's record Right Away, available at daturarecords.bandcamp.com. And Jet, I mean, I guess we'll start with you. You want to tell us the story? Like, get us started. How did this EP begin and come together?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I don't want to kind of bum things out right from the beginning, but, you know, it's kind of a sad situation to kind of, you know, birth this situation. And my girlfriend of 10 years, like, passed away a couple years ago, pretty suddenly from heart failure. So,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. But I don't know. I pretty much, from that second, I moved like back home, like to my hometown. So I'm not in Lawrence right now. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the woods. And, the whole time, Milk and Pro were very, always checking in on me, doing all that. And, basically, Milk was just like, hey, let's maybe, try making a little music. If you're not going to talk to anybody about anything, like if you're going to be in the woods, you might as well do something so you don't go insane. And then, we just kind of started with like 1-2 little loose songs, and it was kind of like, getting back into the routine of everything. And, they just kind of snowballed into like these initial 6 songs of what will ultimately be like a 3-disc, series kind of.
Yeah.
All right.
Just kind of, out of necessity, we kind of started it pretty much,
How did that work? If you were in the woods, how did y'all
through Discord?
collaborate?
Really? Through Discord.
Really?
I mean, I've known Milk for I got like emails from like 2012. So like me and Milk, we go back as far as, sending each other music and ideas and, just trying to give, I'll get the little sneak joints that nobody really gets to ever hear, the loosies that don't make it. And I've sent him 1,000 different beats, and he just always gave me, great feedback from literally probably the beginning of when I started doing this. And, and it just, I don't know, we through the internet, through music, we became, really good friends. And, so like just through Discord, like I just pretty much, make a couple beats and then I'll send them his way. And then if they stick, we just kind of run with it from there.
Milk, what do you remember about the start of this collaboration?
It started with Lowe's, the song itself. Probably a couple months before what transpired even happened. He had sent me a beat to collaborate on a song with, and I had filled in the second verse. What was the second verse? Originally, it wasn't a solo song as it is on the EP, and I made artwork, and because that's kind of how I operate. I make a song, then I make the artwork. Just creatively, it's just kind of what keeps me interested in the process. And nothing really came of it. It just kind of sat for a while, and then this happened, and you can't really pull somebody through that with intention a lot of the times. Like, and so I just went to what I know best based on my life experience, which is creating always is one of the ways that gets you through pain the easiest. And so from there, we had a couple beats back and forth, and just kind of eased into it because I didn't want him to feel like I was making him or steering him in the direction of telling his story because it's his, and I didn't want it to be disingenuous in that way. And so from there, we had probably 3 or 4 songs, and then for me personally, creatively, like once I get to a certain point in a body of work, then like if we have 3 songs, we might as well do 5. If we have 5, we might as well do 7. If we have 7, we might as well do 10. And so that's where we got to the point real quick where we had 5 songs, and it's like, okay, this is a record. And then kind of from that being completed and coming to fruition, the other 2 ideas in the series, in what will be the series, kind of came to life.
Hey, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say is the whole series is basically Jet, you working through all of this.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of why, like, with the first one, it was, I really wanted all the beats that I made to really be the forefront of, like, to show how I'm feeling, because you can't really tell the whole story in like with what I'm saying, like, especially if we're going to do this many projects, you don't want to, you can't tell us, like, I don't know how I'm going to feel by the time we get finished with the third one, so it's like, that's where I was, the second one that we're doing is like kind of where I'm at. And then, give it a little time, and, the songs just, so the tone of this first one was definitely like somber, like there's a lot of like Rhodes piano, there's a lot of like kind of lo-fi sampling in it and stuff, and it's just, a lot. I really wanted the tone to be like kind of serious, so.
I was about to ask you, so what kind of production you were using, like what, mainly you're going to, because I heard definitely a lot of Rhodes, which I dig, man. Did you sample that, or you play that?
No, most of the piano stuff on this one I sample from like for YouTube, or I might dig through Splice every now and then, and but the second one I'm trying to play more because I don't really want to sample as much, like if the production is what conveying how I feel, I kind of want to be the one playing it at this point. So
So what instruments do you play?
I don't really actually play any. I'm teaching myself the keyboard right now, so
that's what's up.
But I like the drum pad. If you consider that an instrument, I can snap the pad pretty well.
For sure.
This first song is just milk, like given the overall, like like kind of touching on the fact that this is going to be a pretty heavy, theme throughout it, referencing Isaac, referencing, just being at your lowest, you love disappearing,
Can clear my head, feel like my notebook's in a jam. The only motive holding on.
Yeah, I actually wrote the first verse second, and I wrote it the day I found out that Isaac ID was in hospice, and so that's why it kind of has a little bit more bite, because I was, feeling a lot more things on that day than I was when I wrote the second verse.
Coffee in the crest, the whole blend clearly shaking ground. Face the west and shine a low in theory, and how the 808s were breaking down. boats in the poles, never been short on the lows. My wake in the forest came with a chorus chorded for zones. See, life in the mornings is gory for you turn off to a glorious road. And I've been too cornered to not come back and coroner quotes. They want the braggadocio, found my fortune too morbid to boast. Cause most too uninformed to tell short stories not within the warrior's code.
Not fair. It's not fair. It just ain't fair, man. And that's another reason why I love working with Milk, man. I don't know a lot of people that like I can like I'm kind of known for like being more of like a punchline kind of guy, you know, a metaphor type guy. But like I really like writing like topically, you know, like having, you know, every song being like a cohesive thing. And like I think Milk is probably one of the greatest ever at, you know, cohesively tying a bunch of stuff together, you know, like topically. There's a plan through everything, and I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that's going to be my new thing, you know. I'm just going to try to bite Milk style pretty much.
Steal what you like.
It's one of the great things I think about, you know, being influenced by all kinds of artists and trying different things, because you know what, the audience never knows. You might think you're biting something like really obviously. The audience almost never knows, you know. I remember I've got this demo. This is kind of a bad example, but I've got this demo for a band that doesn't even exist, where I very clearly wrote like a 9 Inch Nails riff on purpose. And when I showed it to the guy I was playing with and asked him like who he thought I was like trying to bite, he had no idea, couldn't place it. You know, even though I was like being very explicit about it. This was just like a writing exercise to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think that's true just kind of like across the board with different vocalists, with different production styles. I encourage people to show those influences, because you end up making it your own.
That's what I'm about to say.
Without even trying.
Yeah, I think the majority of people just remember what it made them feel. Like, they don't have any idea about the execution of anything really musically. They just know that song made me feel this, and that's why I will never forget it.
I'm on my own shit, quite the desperado. Y'all know, Jetty P. Codis and Yo Serato. It's not saying a lot though, cause most these suckers is got though. I be pretty humble, thought I'd flex you that bravado. And now I'm writing out my medicine. I'm feeling better than I ever been. Check the footwork, two-stepping with some veterans. I be chillin', waiting on the patches for my letterman. It's been a minute, so I guess I break the silence. I've been in the garden, chillin', writing with some giants. Follow where the light is, cause everyone's invited to the. It's been a minute, so I guess I break the silence. I've been in the garden, chillin', writing with some giants. So follow where the light is, cause everyone's invited to the park.
Yeah, man, that's one of my favorite ones on here. That's you know.
I was about to say, man, like you seriously humble, man. Man, you sell yourself short a lot, and I mean, and that's cool, man. Like I feel that, but like I seen you live a couple times, man, and you just like kind of you know, without music, just kind of, I don't know if you're freestyling or if you had it, you know, in your head or what, but I mean, I just think, you know, you're pretty fly yourself, dude. You're pretty dope. So,
Thank you, man.
I you know.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. It's, yeah, like, you know, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm good at the, you know, kind of hiding everything I'm trying to say inside of like a metaphor, inside of a punchline. So it's like,
Right.
you kind of got to dig into it. And like, that's really what I've wanted to focus on here, was like, I don't really want to talk about yet what I'm feeling in this. So it's kind of like me just kind of being all over the place, and Milk just kind of like drives the theme of the whole thing, where it's like, hey man, fucking focus, and like, just not necessarily focus, but like he's just giving that big brother advice through the whole thing, and it's, I'm just kind of, bouncing all over the place. But that song is kind of in reference to Presidio Park. Presidio Gardens is obviously the Great Approaches studio in Lawrence, Kansas. So, in homage to him, we called it Presidio Park, and just a little fun fact.
And this next one actually features Approach.
I just need a second.
Yeah.
With these legends, I've been soaking up these lessons. Just let it breathe for me. Just let it. I just need a minute. I just need a second. Running with these legends, I've been soaking up these lessons. Just let it breathe for me. Just let it. And we've been living in a state of don't you dare unite us. I be screaming fuck Trump till I got laryngitis. I be talking all my shit long as the snares behind us. Look how they crucify a man just trying to get some kindness. This is high percentage like lobbing to Blake Griffin. I ball till my legs stiff and only break that you lames getting. I ain't hitting lanes and I ain't got no paint dripping. I just do my thing and keep doing some things different. Now they faint like the Holy Ghost, flow cripple like polio, slicks a stick of oleo, hard-headed like McFoley though. I can hear him coming for all this gold that I'm holding, so you should let him know that these chairs just ain't for folding, no. I want some peace that slumber brings. I lost my mind, that's why I'm always looking under things. It's 5K to run your dreams. I just feel my body ain't the only thing I'm punishing. I just need a minute, I just need a second. Running with these legends, I've been soaking up these lessons. Just let it breathe for me, just let it. I just need a minute, I just need a second. Running with these legends, I've been so.
I just tried to keep up. I knew I had Lincoln Marshall on the back end of this, and I was like, I gotta go.
I've been letting it breathe though. Have to laugh at the doom, cause we been had masks. For these beats, the pen been half masked. They speak of peaks, well I've been at that too. The fork for roads in my bones had to been that path through. And all my truths in one room, put the facts up in exact proof. My purpose outweighs the worst to come, so I write for the nights that we curb the sun. I raise my sons under the same sky that we service run. Still with the same drivers when my eyes curtain love. Certain of the signs, so I'm still evading the dark. From park bench to palladium, my poems never stray from the art. On to stay a call away from when the aim is a spark. Not a play to make, less the sin plaguing my road. Design
Milk was writing for this project different than your previous albums, or I'm hearing a little, I'm hearing some flows I think that are just different than I'm just wondering if that's on purpose, or if it's just how it came out.
For sure. So I tried to balance or replicate Jet's kind of throughout the whole record. So it could kind of feel like a voice above him, kind of gathering him in. And so that's one aspect that's totally different than anything else. And then also I tried to keep in mind I didn't want it to feel like I understood what he was going through in a way, because I don't life. And so I didn't want it to be like this sad, like, let me put your arm around you type verses throughout the whole record, because I don't think he needed that in real life. And I didn't think that it would fit kind of the overall theme of the record, which is what Right Away is, because we're writing it all away. And so I didn't want him to I didn't want to feel or the listener to feel like I was like preaching to him, like, it'll be all right, like how a lot of people are in real life situations, because they don't know necessarily how to be empathetic towards certain situations, like, oh, just get over it, it'll be all right. And it's like, can't tell people that. And so I wanted it to be more of like, I'm here with you, like, and we'll do this together, as opposed to, you know, come on, man, it's gonna be okay. Because I don't think that's ever an effective strategy in anything.
Right. Before we move on to Bliss, I wanted to ask, man. So the production on that track, Jet, was you did the beat, and were the rest of that, was that samples? Were you playing any of that?
No, it's all sample and like just kind of like EQ manipulation and like,
Okay.
you know, just stuff
Do you
like
do
that.
a lot of automation in your production?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
You do?
Like one of my like I pretty much like I didn't really feel like the like chopping samples. Like I can do that pretty well, but like with this, I kind of wanted it all to sound like it was like just like live, pretty much. You know, like it's all there's really no, you can't really tell or hear chops or anything like that. It's not stuttery or anything like that, and so I would take a bunch of like just vocal samples that are like melody or whatever, and then just kind of just tweak it and alter it to where you can't really tell what it is saying, but it just kind of becomes like another instrument in the, you know, in the mix of everything.
Yeah, some of the pads in that song or in that track are dope.
Thank you, man.
Dope,
Thank
man.
you.
Well done, man, for sure.
I think on the next two though, like you added the sprinkles on these next two. I think Right Away and Goosebumps. I think
right now we're on this one is Bliss.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah.
How did you guys how did you go about starting these songs lyrically?
Go ahead, Milk.
I kind of just really, to be honest, I just wrote and recorded and sent it off to him, and kind of let him handle the hooks, because because he's better at it than I am, and two, because it's his story, so I wanted him to be able to steer what was happening transitionally. But for the most part, and I either put it or led, depending on kind of where I thought the sequence was going to go in my head, because I don't like records where like I end a song and then I start a song. It just sounds like too much for the listener's ears. It's like you got to give them a break, like tonality wise. And so the majority of these songs, like I think I recorded like 4 of these songs in an hour and sent them off, and that was it.
Hit him in a lunch break.
Yeah, and so a lot of it was just like stream of conscious, like this is what I think will help him talk about what he needs to talk about, and then kind of hope for the best.
Yeah, that's and then once, you know, most of the time if I send it to Milk, like I think my success rate sending beats and then them just sticking is probably like 90%. I think we've only not used like maybe 3 beats that I've sent him in the past like 7-8 months or whatever, so yeah. I just kind of locked in on the vibe of this next one, and but like writing this is like I didn't really want to I don't know, just like I said, tell the whole story. So I just kind of, I was vague about a lot of stuff. There's a lot of, you know, innuendo. There's a lot of metaphor, and like, I'm not trying to just be like, yo, I'm sad, you know. That's pretty obvious, you know, like, and just still try to make it like palatable for other people to listen to, you know, like relatable in the sense that like maybe somebody else is going through it, and you know, this could help them through that, especially with like, you know, that's why Milk's holds the theme through the whole thing, because the gems that he drops throughout it is just like there's like Lowe's is just full of them, and it helped me. Like we didn't really talk much about it like in real life. This was just kind of how we talked about it. he would just send me his stuff, and then I'm just like, oh, there's the lesson that Milk needs me to hear right now, you know. So it's dope.
Yeah. Is this another sample, man?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's all samples, man. I can't play nothing, man.
So I mean, some of that weird, like, man, like those turns were dope. So I mean, I know it's samples, but like, so did you tweak some of the road sounds so that it sounded more like that wah?
Yeah, I just run them through like I think on that one I ran it through like an organ, like VST, to kind of give it like a kind of a churchier vibe, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure what it is. Yeah.
I think this was the last one that we did on the project. I think this was like, Milk was like, well, we need one more. And then I sent him this and he goes, got it. And then it was just like, he sent the hook back and I was just like, okay. This is like the one song where it's kind of like upbeat a little bit and like.
I was gonna mention that too, man. It sounded, and without, you know, really paying attention to the lyrics, you know, it could have felt upbeat, but there could have been like some really deep shit being said.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, because it's like, you know, the song's called Bliss, so it's like, you know, that's kind of just like remembering that's like, you know, this is how you could feel good, you know, like you could still be in a bad place but feel good, you know, like you don't have to be heavy, have it on you every day, you know, like, and then it would just kind of, in my verse, I just kind of started like referencing things that like, you know, make me happy. Like, I think at the end of it, I closed with like, you know, smoking blunts in a teepee or something like that. And I was just like, I'd be off the grid in a teepee and that's it, you know, like that's bliss to me, man, at this point, you know, just,
well,
you know.
And that organ, like you referenced, man, that organ giving that churchy thing is like pretty appropriate for that.
Yeah. And then Milk gets on there and he just, you know, he preaches one to him, man.
Let's see here. What's next? I mean, I'm gonna listen to another song.
Right away.
Right away.
Right away. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nate's on this one. All the little on there, all the little, you know, if it sounds like it's from a different planet, that was Nate.
All right, yeah, that's right. Okay.
I might up and fly away. I don't wanna fight the day.
Yes, I remember that.
Find a way to rhyme and say all the shit I'm trying to say. No point if I try to stay. I wanna go like right away. I might get too high today. I might up and fly away. I don't wanna fight the day. I kinda.
So Nate, were you recording to a finished track with vocals and everything, or was it earlier in the beat?
I think it was mostly finished. It had vocals. I don't know how finished it was, but it was the track.
Yeah, I think I have my verse and the hook on it, and that's what. And then I just kind of told him at the end, just kind of, you know, do you, man? Just, you know, make it spacey, you know, make it like, you know, a trancier vibe, you know.
I didn't like my life like this, staying up late every night like this, saying in vain if you slice my wrist, you 5 hits on a knife like shit. This shit beat like 396. Y'all boys finished.
Yeah, this was yeah, man. When I heard the lyrics on this one, man, I was like, I was like, man, yeah, that record, I can see what it might be about.
Yeah, it was I'm not even sure what order it was that we did this one, but just kind of playing on words, you know. I want to go like right away. I want to go right away. So.
Yeah.
And this is the one where Milk just, you know, this is the ultimate lesson verse here.
Put it to rest, I've been measured and found. Drip down to the ground and now they measure the crown. They call me legend around. Parts were hard to weather, the brown leaves and leather stripes on my sleeve embedded. Safe and sounds, but this ain't a place safe for brunch. Cause hunters don't pray for lunch, they turn prey to lunch. I turn my days from slate in the grace that comes. We were chasing stars and now the sky gave us the pace to run. Free without a need for a wasted lung. So while this pin's in my hand, the plane is not to waste a touch.
I might get too high today. I might up and fly away. I don't wanna fight today. I kinda wanna hide away.
Bullied. I just got bullied on that song right then. That's another thing. I just got to learn to live with that, you know,
Man.
and love it, and live and love it, and start taking it personal.
Man, no, yeah, yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, man. You're trying to be too humble about it, man. Like, I don't know that I ever would have thought the second half of the song's way better than the first. Like, man, I enjoyed. I mean, I enjoy. I don't know if I want to use that word, but your verse is it's right there, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. Yeah. You're talking about something. Man.
I think as artists we forget that, and I mean, Milk I think was saying this earlier. Like, listeners they just experience the whole song. They're not picking apart this thing and that thing and what it's whatever like little differences we hear about, you know, this verse, or, you know, is the snare too loud? You know, it's out, but man, I wish I'd have pulled this back a little bit. No one cares. Like, they just enjoy it, and no one else hears that stuff that we hear.
Yeah,
Right.
They don't know it's not perfect.
I've never heard anybody be like, man, that last 8, that intricate wordplay on the last 8, that was amazing. Never heard that before in my life from anybody.
Yeah, they either like it and they're like, yeah, man, I know, man, he meant to do that, or they hate it and they're like, that snare's way too loud, man. That dude.
Yeah, that song ain't going nowhere, man. That kick is out of key.
Exactly.
Yeah, this song is just kind of like, I wanted to transition it into the kind of like, this song is kind of a summation of all the advice that I got, and like, this is where I'm at right now at the end. That's where we'll start on the next one, you know? So.
Dip, try to meditate, blame it all on my mental state. Too scared to change to admit I'm great, and the levee broke will hold my weight. Now ain't that a little bitch? Turn me up just a little bit. Wanna feel when the speakers kick, when she in my whip, she riding stick. Looking for some luck to roll my way. Bad little blonde to roll my J's. Promise y'all, man, I'm okay. It's just me again, standing in my way. My sin been sticking like deja vu. The hole I'm in's like 8x2. Must confess I hate my mood. Everyone I knew is like, this ain't you. I don't know who the fuck I've been. I don't know who the fuck gon' win. All I got's my heart, my pen.
Man, that right there.
Till then, I'ma roll the loud. Stay calm and I hold it
down. Man, for real.
I know that karma finna come around like a heel kick. It's that real shit. Goosebumps when y'all feel this, huh? It's like goosebumps when y'all feel this, huh?
And this is kind of the little transition into like, okay, you know, the second chapter of the situation, you know?
Right. It kind of feels like the future all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I just want this shit to resonate. Know I'm coming from a better place. Better state of mind, better state of prime. Really, I'm just here to educate. I'ma keep the lecture short for your best retort. Ivy League, you elective course. Place the bet and we can pick the sport. Play your record cause I'm wrecking yours. Then I'll go along my way and do some shit that you never done. Humble cat, he's a fun little fact. My ego standing like 11-1. The fuck you do with that? I be moving back, and you know it's just too much truth in that. Beat that ass like blue and black. Gold on your waist, you losing that. Then I go along my way. Yeah.
A lot of wrestling references though throughout the whole thing. That's kind of my go-to, you know. I don't. The only jewelry that I talk about is like a heavyweight championship, and I'm coming for it at all times. You know, like, like yeah. But yeah, that's you know, that's just kind of a little like, hey, I'm not as sad as this whole thing has been. You know, like I learned something. You know, and like. That's what that little, you know, that outro was just pretty much the most open that I was throughout the whole thing. Just like, you know, this is what it is, you know, and now we're on to the second part of it. So,
how did you feel after delivering that verse?
It was good, man. It was it was kind of hard, like doing, you know, a little bit of it, but I actually made the beat with my little brother. Like he was sitting here like with me or whatever, and we were just, you know, chopping it up, and
yeah,
he was like, this one's pretty good. I was like, thanks, bud. And then,
This
you
one,
know,
just this one.
this one's pretty good. I said, thanks, man. I think I'll do something with it then. So,
No, man,
yeah,
it
like,
is. Yeah, that was a man. I'm not trying to be like effusive with my praise, but
I love it, Nate. I love it.
no,
bring
I
it.
mean, I really liked. I mean, you're right. It was a lighter verse, but it also was. It did kind of remind me a little bit of like hearing you, you know, several years ago. So
Yeah,
for
yeah,
for whatever that might be worth, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Not
man.
you know
Yeah,
you're a change, but like that, I kind of feel like maybe that it's showing you that you're still, man, you still you, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Most of the time, yeah, man. That's what my style used to be. Really, no chorus, just kind of like a bunch of different, you know, change ups and
Yeah,
like punchlines and stuff like that. And like through the whole first part of the album, it's really not that much. And then, you know, it progressively gets lighter with Bliss and Right Away, and then Goosebumps at the end. So it's kind of like crescendoing up. You know, we didn't want to leave sad. You know, that's why I wanted to, you know, put that at the end, where that's more, you know, kind of my style. It's just free
But
verse.
it was still raw though.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. That first part, yeah, definitely. That was,
Yeah.
yeah, that first part is, you know, talking about the simulation just being in a glitch and like in deja vu, and you know, it's every day just kind of seeming like, oh shit, it's just yesterday again, you know, like, and so that's, you know, tough to get over. And but yeah, there's some, you know, just it's all hidden in a punchline pretty much. If I can do that, that's really the only way I'll talk about it, you know. So,
It sounds like
but
part 2 is finished or well underway.
I gotta record 3 verses still, but yeah.
Yeah, it's 90% recorded, and then Jet's gonna handle the mixing on the second one. Approach actually mixed and mastered the first one, and so we're gonna
Okay.
take a load off of his plate and let Jet do it, which may also give it a different feel because it's different to when you're mixing something sonically as opposed to mixing it based on what you feel. And so I'm excited to hear how it comes out. But yeah, it's pretty much done. It's been pretty much done for a while now. We just kind of let it and let it breathe and see what comes with it. Because I'm always I'm historic for adding songs in the 11th hour, so I like to kind of pull the
Yeah.
string back a lot of times and just kind of let it be what it is. But yeah, so it's pretty much finished, and then we'll get it mixed and pre-mastered and then mastered, and then it should be out fairly soon. So it's I hate to like Right Away because we're talking about Right Away, but it's definitely a different record. It definitely feels a lot better. It definitely sounds a lot better, which is kind of natural and progression of things. Like the second one should be better than the first one. Otherwise, something is wrong with what you're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got like you said, you always pulling out the 11th hour. We have 9 songs, so I'm almost expecting to like in the last minute just hit that round 10, you know.
And yeah,
It's gonna be a beat that I sent him like 6 months ago that we totally forgot about. And he's just like, oh, I got, you know, 16 and the hook on this, so let's do it. And I'm with it.
Word.
I just run with it.
Fantastic. Last thoughts on Right Away by Jet Moran and Milkdrop? We miss anything?
Just
Nah,
go,
I think
go check it out.
Where can they check it out?
It's available everywhere to stream if you stream. If you want to purchase it and own it and have it in your collection, it's available at deltorarecords.bandcamp.com. It's 6 songs. I want to say it's on sale for $7, so it's cheaper than your morning coffee. And it's a record I'm proud of. Personally, not really anything that has to do with the music, but because of what it represents. It's kind of a time capsule for, ironically, something you don't want to remember, but something you need to remember to kind of guide you as you move forward, which is what the next 2 records will do. Will kind of show us, leading off of where we wrote from in the first one. And so there'll be, the next one is right after, and then the third one will be right now. So that's kind of the progression of the 3: Right Away, Right After, Right Now. Yeah.
I was going to ask if the other 2 titles would reference kind of, or keep with that theme, which I expected, but good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
You heard it first, folks.
Yeah.
Breaking news on the Long Play Listening Party.
Yeah, Milk divulged a secret, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
We'll link to everything in the show notes.
Yeah.
Since it doesn't seem like he's going to mention it, listeners, I want to tell you, Nate also has a record out. It's called Futurespective. You can also get it wherever you stream music, or specifically at daturarecords.bandcamp.com.
You can purchase it there, yeah.
So that's while you're getting Right Away, hop on over to the next page and check out Nate's record, Futurespective. We are going to keep hanging out, but take a little break. Next week, we'll be listening to Milkdrop's record, Wet Paint, which is one of my favorite records of last year. Been waiting to talk to him about it. So you can hear that next week, but we'll let you go for now. It's been the Long Play Listening Party. Later, everybody.
Peace.